Okay, let's just jump right in. We are standing right at the edge of two of the biggest technological waves you can imagine, and they're about to crash into each other: artificial intelligence and crypto. And when they do, it's not just going to make a few ripples. Nope, we're talking about a tidal wave of innovation. So today, we're going to unpack how this exact fusion is getting ready to power what could be a $10 trillion revolution. So, here's the game plan. We'll kick things off with just how massive this opportunity is. Then we'll get into the nitty-gritty of connecting AI to blockchains. After that, we'll look at two really key players in this space, Chainlink and ZeroG. And we'll wrap it all up with why this stuff is so incredibly important for what's coming next. All right, so first things first, we need to set the stage. The numbers being thrown around with the rise of AI are, well, they're just staggering. And you really have to get a handle on the sheer scale of this to understand what's at stake. $10 trillion. Just let that number sink in for a second. We're not talking about just another little tech trend here. This is the projected size of the AI market. And a number that huge doesn't just mean growth, it means a complete fundamental shift in the entire global economy. And that's the real kicker. A revolution this big, this transformative, it can't run on the same old tech we've been using. It creates totally new challenges, and it demands a completely new kind of digital infrastructure, one that's way more robust, way more secure, and way more verifiable than anything we have today. Which, leads us right to the heart of this whole explainer. How in the world do we build that new infrastructure? Well, this is exactly where crypto and blockchain tech step onto the scene, because they offer a set of tools that seem almost custom-made for the job. So, you gotta ask the big question. As these AI systems get smarter and more autonomous, what do they actually need to operate safely and effectively out in the wild? Well, the answer, it turns out, is hiding in the unique DNA of the blockchain. And it pretty much boils down to these three things. First, AIs need data they can actually trust, so verifiable data. They also need to be able to talk to each other and to all sorts of other systems without security holes. That's secure interoperability. And maybe, just maybe, the most mind-bending one of all, as they become independent actors, they're going to need their own form of digital identity. So let's look at our first case study and see how this actually works. Enter Chainlink. Now, for years, getting different blockchains to securely talk to one another has been this kind of holy grail problem. But Chainlink is positioning itself to be that critical bridge, specifically solving that interoperability piece of the puzzle for AI. And the magic sauce here is something called CCIP. The easiest way to think about it, it's like a universal translator for blockchains. It lets these totally separate, siloed networks securely chat and swap information and value. That sounds simple, but trust me, doing it securely is incredibly difficult, and it unlocks a ton of potential. Okay, so how does this actually work with AI? Let's walk through a scenario. Imagine an AI model running on a network like Bittensor, which is built for decentralized AI. That model spits out some really valuable data. Well, Chainlink CCIP can swoop in, securely grab that output, and then ferry it over to a major blockchain like Ethereum. And once it's there, that AI data can be used in smart contracts, in DeFi, you name it. It's basically the secure plumbing for AI-generated value. So, here's the bottom line. By making this flow of data possible, Chainlink stops being just another crypto project. It becomes a fundamental piece of the infrastructure for the entire AI economy. And that gives it a really, really powerful role in this story as it unfolds. Okay, so if Chainlink is building the super highways connecting all these different blockchains, what about the actual cities themselves? That brings us to our second project, ZeroG. See, while a lot of people are trying to sort of retrofit existing blockchains for AI, ZeroG is taking a totally different path. They are building a blockchain from the ground up, specifically designed for AI. And they're not shy about it. ZeroG Labs themselves are making this pretty bold claim. When they call it a layer 1 built for AI, what they're saying is, hey, this isn't just an update to old tech. This is a brand new foundation for a future where AI agents are, first-class citizens in the digital world. And this little comparison really hammers home their vision. Our current systems, they were all built for humans, and that's it. Identity is usually controlled by some central company. ZeroG is imagining a world where humans and AI agents are working side by side, and where identity isn't controlled by anyone. It's permanent, it's verifiable, and it lives on the blockchain. So what does that actually look like? Well, think of it like this. ZeroG is basically creating a digital passport for AIs. This on-chain identity would let an AI truly own things and act for itself. I mean, imagine an AI that could hold assets, manage its own investment portfolio, buy its own computing power to upgrade itself, or even get hired and paid for a job, all with its reputation and history tracked transparently on-chain. This solves that third critical need we talked about earlier.
Okay, so we've looked at a bridge and we've looked at a foundation. Let's zoom out for a second and put it all together. Why does this mashup of AI and crypto actually matter in the grand scheme of things?
So let's just recap the big takeaways here. The AI market is this monster $10 trillion opportunity, but it has very unique needs. Chainlink is stepping in to provide the secure pipes to move AI data around. Meanwhile, ZeroG is building that foundational layer where AIs can actually have an identity. And when you put it all together, what this is really about is future-proofing our entire digital world for a revolution that's already here. And that brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. As these AI agents get more and more autonomous, making their own decisions without human input, is giving them a secure, verifiable, on-chain identity just a cool feature? Or is it an absolute non-negotiable necessity for a safe and functional future? Something to chew on.